the meeting. So welcome, Team Nourished Team Call. It is October the 29th. There are 3 days left before November, which is the second to last month of the year. I was at a friend's house this afternoon, and she was talking about how we have, I'm not going to remember the number, but she said the number of weeks until January. And I was like, holy cow, this is crazy. Like, we are rapidly approaching the end of the year. And I am in the mode where I'm like both wide-eyed, like this big of how fast it's going, but also like we're so close to so many incredible things. And so I like don't want to blink. I really don't want to blink. I'm afraid I'll miss something if I blink. So I'm a little like manic and excited and just, I don't know, all of the emotions. So let me, oh, more people are popping in here. Let me share my screen and get going with that. Amanda, can you see our slideshow, friend? Yes. Okay, good. So again, welcome to the team call. Real quick on the recognition, my favorite part of the night. I love recognizing our coaches for helping other people and getting their businesses moving along. But more than that, it's about helping other people and ourselves live our healthiest, fullest life. And that includes both physical transformation, mental transformation, financial transformation, confidence transformation. And I feel like our weekly top 5 board typically reflects a lot of that. So congratulations to our weekly top 5. Carrie Summers coming in at number 1, Renee Koth at number 2, Paige Yorgi, number 3, Michelle Chapman, number 4, and then my second CBC at number 5. So ladies, these numbers are compiled with people who are engaged in their own journey, who are helping other people enroll, who are getting challenge pack sales and coach recruitments, and those all go into a numerical formula and spits it out, and here we are. So the other big mile marker in our business that we track is Success Club points. And I used to get super wrapped up in Success Club points because I was like, oh, I have to hit SC6. I have to hit SC6. But the reality of my heart was SC6 didn't mean anything to me. People being helped is what means something to me. So I took out, when I started writing my goals down, I no longer wrote my goal as SC10. I wrote down help 5 people enroll. And so number 1, 5 is less than 10. So I was like, okay, cool little fun mind math trick. And number 2, it also reminds me of the heart of why it is that we do what we do, why it is that I reach out and invite, why it is I post on social media, why it is I show up day in and day out in our challenge group. It's because of the people. Honestly, if it was just dollars and it was just numbers, it would not make any difference to me. I've shared that a lot with our team that, this does not pay our electric bill. And so sometimes I feel like that hinders me because I'm like, well, our electric bill isn't going to depend on me inviting anybody. But what it does depend on is the other people that are out there waiting for me to invite them, that are waiting for me to offer them the solution that we have. And I really took to heart something that was said to me a really long time ago, and that's that I'm withholding a blessing every time I don't invite. I was thinking about this when I was looking at the Success Club board today. Alyssa Dietrich down here at the bottom, she's at SC2. Last month, it was October the 30th. No, I'm sorry, it was not October the 30th. It was September the 30th. I'm like, what month is it now? See, I don't even know what we're doing here. It was September the 30th, and I was still pushing for my goals because I was struggling last month. I was on the struggle bus. And one of the things that I do when I am pushing for my goal, because I am unwilling to let that mile marker in my business go, like that's just a non-negotiable for me, which I heard that term a lot growing up in coaching. And I was like, okay, non-negotiable. But it's one of those things that like at this point in time, I absolutely will not let go. Like I just will not let go of the fact that my minimum every single month is helping 5 people. And so I had not hit that yet. And so one of the things that I do is I go back through my posts that I've posted and I look at who commented on my post, or I look at who liked the post, I look at who interacted, and then sometimes I move on from that and I just start going through my friends list on Facebook and Instagram, and I reach out to the people that I care, that like are interesting to me, and I comment on a post, and then I reach out in their invite and I say something to the effect of, hey, thank you so much for the love on my last post, or hey, if I really have not talked to them I'm like, hey, Alyssa, how's it going? I haven't seen you around the neighbor. She lives in our neighborhood. Haven't seen you around the neighborhood very much. How are you doing? Strike up the conversation. Hey, I don't know if this interests you or not, but I'm getting ready to start my October boot camp and I still have a couple spots. Is that something you'd like some more information on? I know you just had a baby, or I know that you, whatever it was that made me want to reach out to them to begin with. Um, and you guys, Alyssa, last month, I literally reached out to her on, like, I want to go back and screenshot it. Carrie, she's got one of the stories kind of like how you do, where it was like, it just all happened all at once. It was like, not that I invited you or anything like that, but like I think about how I want to screenshot, or I screenshotted our initial conversation and I reference that a lot. She's one that I want to screenshot our initial conversation before it gets too far down in the scrolly thing, because it was transformational. Like literally, I invited her at like 9 a.m. in the morning. She had enrolled by noon. She was at my house the next day getting set up with a Getting Started Right call. That next morning, she enrolled her first person. Like it just bang, 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 bang. She didn't reach out to me. I invited her. Had I not been bold enough to reach out and invite, she would not have then went and said something to her mom, who loves Shakeology. She's like, oh my gosh, my mom would really like this. She reached out to her mom. Her mom bought Shakeology. Bada bing, bada boom. She's helped her first person, you know? And it's one of those things where it's like, had I let myself get in my own way about her and create a story of why she wouldn't want to do this with me and all of the things, and let the enemy speak those lies into that non-existent conversation at that point, her life would not have been changed. Her mom's life would not have been changed. And it's that ripple effect and that butterfly effect that happens, that it just all spreads. And so that's kind of my call out to you guys to not get in your own way. I think so often with Success Club and helping other people enroll, we are our own worst enemy. And so if we can just get over ourselves and realize what a blessing it is that we have literally one meal delivered to our house. Literally, we have hundreds of workouts at our fingertips, and meditations and food channels and recipes and meal plans, and this community for when things get hard and you lean in and you say, guys, I don't want to do this. I think of Diana's post in our challenge group. Yes, I think it was yesterday. And she was like, I did not want to do this workout. I was so like up in my feelings. I didn't want to do it. And it literally took her remembering that our challenge group is there. And she was like, and you guys are what pushed me to do it. That's what we have, you guys. And there's so many people out there struggling without a community and without these resources. And like, I go back to myself and I think, how dare I not share that with somebody? How dare I not invite that person? How dare I create a story that they can't afford this, or that they wouldn't want this? She just had a baby, or man, they just moved. I can't invite her to this. Just reach out and be a real human and talk to them. And you would be surprised at the people that are like, yes, yes, and amen. I want to do this with you. So, just to run down the Success Club earners, like I said, I try not to think about it as Success Club. I think about it as the people we help. So Success Club 5 and more, myself is at SC16, Carrie Summers is at SC8. Kimberly Yorgi is on the board with 4, which is really Paige Yorgi. We're going to talk a little bit about that tonight. Renee Koth, or Paige is also at SC4 herself. Renee Koth is at SC4. Leanna Morris is at SC2. Alyssa Dietrich is at SC2. Cynthia Wright is at SC2. Kendall Fawns is at SC2. Michelle Chapman is at SC2. And Amanda Brendel is at SC2. I love the fact that we are all helping one person. I think if we can every day come into this as, how can I help one more person? How can I share this with one more person? How can I connect with one more person? At the end of the month, if all you did was help one person every single day, you'd be at SC60. Like, that blows my mind. If you helped, okay, take that back to like, okay, that seems out of reach. If I could help one person every other day, you would be at SC30. If that seems too big for you, if you helped one person every 5 days out of a 30-day calendar month, every 5 days, if you were to help one person enroll, that's SC12. That's 6 lives you've changed. Like, if you break it down into those smaller increments, those numbers don't seem scary anymore. If you can focus on the next person, helping the one more person, helping that person, because every single one of our lives matter. Every single one of the people out there who need you matter. So, congratulations to those of you on the board. It is not too late to get yourself on the board, or if you are on the board and want to get yourself into SC5 and get that cool wine glass, I did extend that. I don't know if I said that out loud in this group or not, but one of the things that you get when you hit Success Club, which is helping 3 people every month, this month you're going to get the cute little wine glass that says because 2020. I drank my Energize out of it this morning and was like, Energize because 2020. Like, I don't know, I think in infomercials, I think, but product of the 80s. But the other thing you get, CC, Jen, and myself have put together a special call with Brooke Ritchie, who came and spoke on our call last month. So that is another Success Club incentive, is that you get a call with her. And guys, that's not something to be like scoffed at. She is a very expensive mindset coach. And so the fact that she is willing to give us our time, like, I want you guys in there. I want you guys in that room with her, able to chat and able to work through mindset issues and really overcome the limiting beliefs that you have. So really, really big deal. So again, congratulations. Quick little rundown of what's going on here, because I feel like I need to keep us up to date on our push, our team's whole push to 5-star elite this year. That is our team's big, hairy, scary goal. And I put together a little thread of the girls who are actively pushing for that. And it's kind of insane because it's not so hairy, scary anymore. It's not so big. Right now, I was leaving a voice message for Cece and Jen, who I run my business and a lot of our trainings with. I'm sure you guys have seen them before, but they pop in and out of our team page and, whatever. But I was leaving them a voice message today, and I was talking about how, like, we are so close to this, guys. We have never been so close. And while that is absolutely, I'm gonna level with you and be real up in here. That is insanely scary to me, to be that close to this dream that I've had for the last 3 years of our team working and pushing and helping and trying to keep our heart in its correct place and not get distracted by shiny things and other stuff, but like really keep our heart on the goal. That is so within our reach. I feel like I was talking, I think I left or I did the live video in our team page about Elite, and was talking in that about how, like, you set a goal to run a marathon, right? 26.2 miles, right, Amanda? Harold, 26.2, 26.1. I don't know. I'm not running a 26 point whatever marathon at all. So if it's not that number, whatever it is, like, you set that goal. That's what 5-star elite feels like to me. Feels like a marathon level goal. And guys, we are at like mile 23, mile 24. Like, we are so freaking close. It hurts. And like, if you've ever run a race, like some of us are doing the, breakaway, and so the real pain of the shins and the hips and the feet and the muscles and the diaphragm breathing and all of the things, like, that last push takes all of it. And I loved in our diamond group, Keyshawn Grace, who's one of our corporate mentors, who I just absolutely freaking adore. She talked about falling across the finish line. Like, that's how I want to end this marathon of 5-star diamond elite for our team. I want to fall across the finish line, knowing that we did every single thing we could to get us there. And you guys, like I said, we are in like mile 23 of the 26 point whatever marathon. Like, we're so close. And so I do find it important that, even though that's such like I feel like it's also like a jargon term that you don't really understand until you get in the thick of it. Like, you get in the middle of the bed and you're like, oh, this is what that meant. So I kind of want to break down, just to really run down quickly, because I know we have some new coaches on our team who are building businesses, and I want them to understand what it is that, when I say we need X amount of emeralds, when I say we need X amount of diamonds, that this is the visual for that. So active emerald literally just means that you have 2 coaches underneath of you. It can be your mom and your husband. It can be your neighbor and your cousin Sally. It can be your hairdresser and your husband. Like, it really doesn't matter. But those 2 people are the people who are going to make that emerald. Guys, emeralds make diamonds. Diamond is I feel like people put diamond up on this huge pedestal, like, oh my God, diamond is so hard and diamond is such a big deal and diamond and da 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 da. Guys, diamond is literally emerald over and over and over again. So it's emerald and teaching someone else to hit emerald. And it's, again, it's one of those things where you've run the marathon, right? And so like if you're going to consider diamond your marathon distance, right? And you get yourself to diamond and you fall across that finish line, the next time that a marathon race comes up, you're like, oh, I did that. I could do that again. Like that wasn't as bad as like I hyped it up in my head to be. And so really, until it happens, like this is literally just emerald and again, emerald and again, emerald and again. And then we got to find some people to help to make emerald. So either again, if you signed up your husband and your mom, you can also make them emerald. Like Beachbody allows you to build those external business centers. And so it's U+2. And I want to make sure that we're very clear on like U+2. So like you can't enroll your neighbor with your credit card. Like that doesn't work. But your credit card is allowed to have or your debit card or whatever you want to call it, your business center and your other person's business center. And there's some rules along with that. But so it's U+2. So anyways, that this is like, I think we were in the Diamond Dash and Cece talked about like, you can do this with 12 people or you can do this with 30 people. It's however hard you want to make it. And so I did it with 30 and it felt excruciating. I did my second CBC with 12. Well, really it was probably like 14, but still like it was not nearly as difficult the second time doing it because I was like, oh, it's just 12 people. And so like going back to the Success Club thing where I talked about, other one right here, guys, if you make your focus helping one person enroll every day for 12 days, you'd be diamond. If you made your focus helping one person every other day, you'd be diamond in a month. So it's all in how hard you want to push and how hard, and how many people you want to do it with. I'll let you guys read this bottom stuff. I read it every time, but really it's all just about helping the next person. So if you can keep your eye on helping one more person, helping one more person, helping one, like get that in your brain that is a rhythmic part of your like mantra, like just help one more person. You would be surprised at how far you can go. One of the things that we have focused really hard on, and I think that has made the biggest difference. I was talking to our corporate mentor here. Let me stop share really quick. I was talking to our corporate mentor the other day about this because they were asking me what was the difference maker this year? Like, what did you change? What changed this year? Because if you look at my business from last year and the year before and the year before, this year has been a quantum leap in what has happened in our team growth. And she said, like, what do you feel like the difference maker was? And I said, you know what? I've been reflecting about this a lot. And I really, truly think it was the very first, it might've even been like the 1st or the 2nd of January, met with Keyshawn in our bigger team. And she was basically running down Elite, which if you guys have if you've been in this business long enough, I feel like you get a little tired of hearing the same thing over and over and over. You come onto the team call and you hear the 4 vital behaviors and you hear the importance of Success Club and you hear about rank every single time, right? Well, for the last 3 years, I have gotten on that top of the year call that gets all of us who want to hit Elite on the same page. Guys, I'm not stupid. I know how to read. I've been doing this business for a long time. I know what the road to Elite is. It doesn't change that drastically from year to year. They might tweak some points or they might change some rules here and there, especially a couple of years ago they did, but really it's about the same thing, right? It's about leadership development. But what changed for me was what Keyshawn said. She was like, I came on this call to talk to you guys about Elite, and I'm not going to talk to you guys about Elite. Elite doesn't matter on January 1st. The thing that matters on January 1st is team builder. And so if you are unfamiliar, I'm going to I'm actually going to share this with you guys on our screen because this is what we're talking. This is kind of what we're talking about. And I'll end the night with announcements. So I'll end just a few minutes early because it kind of makes sense to just go straight on in there into this. I just thought this was so profound. So this is the road to elite. It's got a cute little graphic. If you click on it here, you get access to what you just saw, that little dashboard. So this is the graphic that I have on my little dream board, or whatever you want to call that, my vision board. This is the graphic I have. It's down here too. But basically what it is there are 4 steps to the road to elite. Oh, shoot. If I can get back to where I was. And they're indicated here by check marks, right? So the very first step in the road to elite is team builder. So it's these 4 categories right here. So you have to hit team builder, then you have to hit team leader, then you have to hit premier, then you have to hit elite. So she said, I'm not here on this call to talk to you about elite. I'm here on this call to talk to you about how you can hit team builder as fast as possible. And I was like, oh, okay, dang, we're going to go in a different direction here. I have never approached my business this way. And I think maybe for some people, seeing the big goal isn't panicky and isn't self-sabotaging. And I think about it too when we think about our personal journeys, right? Because I know some of you on this call may not be in this for like hardcore business stuff, and that's okay. I feel like so much of our personal journey is mirrored in the business that it's easy to talk about them both interchangeably. So say you have to lose 100 pounds. Say that's your elite. That's your marathon. That's your milestone that you want to hit, whatever that is. 20 pounds, 100 pounds, run a marathon, hit elite, like whatever the goal is. That goal is really broken down into a lot of different mile markers, right? Like you don't go into a weight loss journey, got to lose 100 pounds, got to lose 100 pounds, got to lose 100 pounds, not celebrating any victories, not doing anything. I've got to keep my head down and focus on 100 pounds. Guess what happens? A month goes by and you didn't lose 100 pounds, and you're discouraged and you give up because you didn't do it fast enough, or you're not already there. Maybe 2 months goes by, maybe 3 months goes by. Whatever it is, there is a point of discouragement because you refuse to celebrate the small victories, and you refuse to focus on what you can hit in this near future. And it's one of those things, like I did a lot of goal training with Shalene Johnson, who did PIO and Turbo Jam and all of that. She used to do this this goal setting thing called the push. I think it was called push training or push journal, push something. And I did it like 5 or 6 years ago. And it was one of those lessons that you hear constantly. And it drives you insane because you're like, I know, set small goals, have a big vision, set small goals. And we know that. But the big vision is so shiny. And the big vision is so fun. And the big finish is the medal around your neck and the 100 pounds lost and the elite and the things and the big goal. But one of the big things that has been mantra-ish to me that I keep sticky notes on my desktop of my computer now. So if you have a Mac, you can just search sticky notes and it'll put sticky notes on your thing for you. It's like having a Post-it on your computer, or you can use real Post-its. But one of the things in that I put at the very beginning of this year is fall in love with the process. Because what I've found is, for me, and maybe you're not like this, and so maybe I'm just and if you are like this, like, feel free to commiserate in the chat. But if you're anything like me, the big goal is what you're really focused on. It's like, I've got to hit diamond, or I've got to help 3 people, or I've got to do this. And you focus on that big, big goal. And you forget that just because you hit that big goal, the carrot is going to move. So hitting diamond, while it's a great milestone in your business, it is not the goal. Hitting elite, as amazing and as top of this business as it is not the goal. The goal is to fall in love with the process and enjoy the entire thing. I was doing our mindset work this morning. So if you were on the call with Brooke Ritchie, she challenged us last month to do this inquiry work. And I'm happy to send you the call, the recording, so that you can understand it, the actual process of it. But one of the things is basically you get a self-limiting belief and you attack it and you deconstruct it every day. You forgive yourself of it. You push the baggage away because you've forgiven it, right? And so today, my limiting belief was that holding 5-star qual will be hard and awful. And that's because I've seen other people make it hard and awful. But I've also watched people do it when it's not hard and awful. And I don't want to hate the last 2 months of the year because I'm so focused on the end goal. And so my heart for this business and my heart for this team and my heart for our all getting on the same page is that we don't make the summit of the mountain the point. I hike a lot here in Hawaii, and hiking it's become one of those metaphors for like my whole life, I feel like. And what I found, I remember there's a hike up here on North Shore. It's called the Switchback Hike. That's like not the real name of it, but Kealia is the real name of it. But basically you start at the bottom, you're going all the way up to the mountain. And the whole face of the mountain is just 19 switchbacks. So you're hike. Switchback is like what my daughter calls an elbow. So if you go like this is a switchback. So you've walked, you've turned around, you've walked up a little bit, then you turn around and you walk. So there's 19 of those. And the entire thing going up is gorgeous. You are you're literally looking over the Pacific Ocean where water is crashing on the rocks and the waves are coming up. And guys, it is as stunning as you think it is. Like, it is really breathtaking. And it's over top of what am I trying to say? An airport, like a little small regional airport. And so there's like no big buildings in the way. And you can kind of see the planes take off, and it's so stunning. But guys, at the summit of that, there's literally a picnic table and a grove of trees. The summit is not the point. That entire journey up is more beautiful than getting to the top of the mountain. Like, you can get to the top and you can kind of go out and like peek through the trees and you're like, oh, this is beautiful. But it is no more beautiful than the entire journey up. So if you spent I was thinking about this when I was hiking with Eden up there recently. If I spent the entire journey up there, I can't wait to get to the top. I can't wait to get to the top. And I never look out to the side, and I never take the time to appreciate what's going on as we go up this mountain. All I ever think about is what I'm going to see at the top of this mountain. And you get there, and it's literally a picnic table inside of a bunch of trees. You're like, what in the world? This was worthless. Why did I do this? I can't believe I just spent the last hour hiking up here with my head down and like focused so hard on the summit that I forgot to enjoy that the beauty is in the journey. And so that's why, wrapping it back around to the sticky note on my computer, it is a daily reminder that I'm here to enjoy the process, that the celebration comes in helping the next person. It does not come in hitting elite. Is elite amazing? Yes. Is elite the top of the mountain that I am going to hit, that we are as a team running toward that marathon, and we will fall through the finish line and it will be amazing and we will celebrate and do all the things? Absolutely. But what I don't want is to get there and to look back and see that my team has lost the joy of this business, to see that I have lost the joy of this business, to see that I've left my challengers behind because I'm so focused on the summit. And so that's why, again, kind of coming full circle here back into this road to elite, what Keyshawn said was so impactful to me, because to get to team builder, you have to be diamond in order to have access to this at all. But team builder is right here. So it includes your paid rank, which is diamond. You need 2 emeralds. You need 25 elite points. And I don't remember the week like volume. It might be like 2,500 or something like that. But each one of, and you can click here about the road to elite and it breaks it all down for you. And you like, I even have, this is something I printed off at the beginning of the year. That's in that same, if you click the road to elite, this document is in there. And you can like literally track all the numbers throughout the entire thing. And so when corporate asked me what the difference maker was this year, two things. One was focusing on the next check mark, not focusing on elite. Like literally, yes, of course, that's the end goal for our team, but that's not January's goal. That's not February's goal. My goal each month was to check off another check mark on this grid. And so as long as I focused on that goal, I loved this year. It was amazing. As soon as I took myself out of that realm of focusing on hitting this down here, all of a sudden I lost the joy of this business. It was gone. I was like, oh, no, I'm not elite yet. Our team isn't elite yet. I might be premier, but I'm not elite. Our team might be 2-star, but we aren't 5-star. And all of a sudden the joy was sucked out of that goal. And so my goal for our team is that we just do the next thing, that we wake up every single morning with the understanding that the why, the big why, has to be a part of it. Like you can't get to the big why, the big vision, the big goal without having a goal, right? Like there's no point in, I think, again, I go back to the hiking metaphor. There's no point in worrying about the hike if you don't know what hike you're going on, right? Like you have to know what hike you're going on. You have to have an end point, or else like you're just wandering around in the woods doing nothing and you'll never get anywhere. But you have to focus on just that next part and looking around and appreciating what's going on. And then all of a sudden it's October and you look up and you're like, holy crap. Because guys, just to put everybody on the same page here, we literally, I was in our little elite push thread today for our team, and it dawned on me that, I mean, all of the pieces are falling into place for us to go into 5-star qual next week, like literally next Thursday. And that is insane. And I keep going, oh God, oh God. And I get like the pukey feeling. And then I'm like, nope. I push it back down. Focus on the next person. What is the next step to get us there? And so I think that that's been a really big, impactful shift in our team and in our journey. But I think of that in the exact same realm as with a weight loss journey or with any kind of journey. It's really easy to get fixated. And like I said, I know that not all of you on here are like, I'm going to make $1 million and I'm going to be 5-star elite and I'm going to do top 10, like whatever. If you are, I want to run with you and I want to help you get there, you know? But what I also want to do is meet you where you are. And so if your journey is about finishing 21-day fix, then it's always one of my favorite things I've ever heard. But like a professor once asked, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So if your elephant is losing 100 pounds, or your elephant is 5-star elite, or your elephant is diamond, or your elephant is finishing 21-day fix, you're never going to get there if all you're consumed with is all the big, right? You're only going to get there if you just take it one step at a time. Do the one day, eat the one healthy meal, drink the one shake, help the next person, focus on one step of your journey and plod. And it's really easy to get distracted because there's so many amazing things. And they're like, ooh, we got a Hawaii retreat. You should look over here because we're going to go to Hawaii and it's going to be amazing. And oh, look, there's a Because 2020 wine glass and I want that. And it's like all the shiny things. Those are good and those are fun and you should earn them. But honestly, the only reason you should earn them is because you were putting one step in front of the other. Every day you're helping the next person. You're reaching out to the next person. And the other thing that I told corporate when they talked to me about like what the difference maker, what the game changer was for us is tracking. You guys, you cannot hit a goal you do not track. And I feel disingenuous almost telling you that, because until this year, I only kind of tracked. I bought the tracker. Like, I can show you my trackers. There's probably like 2 months, 3 months where I was like, "Yeah." And then you'd hit summit in July and you're like, "Yeah, track the things." And then August, and then September, and then October, and then, "Oh my God, it's the end of the year push, November, track the things." But guys, like, that's not real tracking. Tracking is tracking when you're not hitting the marks. Tracking is tracking because it reveals where you're, how do I want to say this? Like, I don't want to say missing the mark, but where you are off course. Because it's really hard to recognize you're off course if you're not tracking. And I think about it back, there was a time in my life where we were in a lot. And when I say a lot, I mean, maybe everybody has different amounts of credit card debt, right? Like, but in my opinion, we were in a lot of debt, like so much so that I would not open my credit card bills. I would just like pay the minimum and like not look at it because I was so scared to look at it. I think about when I have a challenger who comes to me or a brand new person comes to me and I'm like, "Okay, well, where are we starting? What weight are we starting at?" And they're like, "I don't know. I don't want to look at the scale." I'm terrified because I don't want to look at it because that means I have to face the reality of what's actually happening. I think about that with our businesses. How many of you guys have been dissatisfied with your business and so you don't open your back office? You're like, "I don't even want to look at it. I don't want to look at the inactives. I don't want to look at the lack of challengers. I don't want to look at any of it," because you're so dissatisfied. But you're not showing up in the tracking because you're unhappy with the outcome. It's one of those chicken or the egg, which one comes first, right? Like, are you not hitting the marks because you're not tracking, or are you not tracking because you're not hitting the marks? It's like, I don't know which is going on, so I'm just not going to look at any of it. And so that was one of the things that I have a success partner. I've already talked about her in here, Jen Hines, but in January, we have always, let me say it like this. Last year, our relationship, hers and I, looked very different. This year, I came into the relationship with Jen and I said, "Listen, I'm going to be real up in here with you. What I need from you is accountability in my tracker." And I know that that's not sexy. And I know that that's not fun. And it's not pretty graphics and sharing ideas and brainstorming about how we can grow our businesses. But literally, I see the deficiency in my business as also being, I mean, there's all kinds of things, right, that can go and affect and change things. But one of the glaring things was that I was not consistently tracking anything. I wasn't consistently tracking my nutrition. I wasn't consistently tracking my business. I wasn't consistently tracking any of it because I was scared to look at the actual numbers because it would reveal that my words and my actions were not lining up. That I was saying for the last 2 years prior to this one, so 2019, 2018, that I wanted to hit elite, that our team was, "Oh, we're going to do it and it's going to be amazing." So they would ask me, "Well, how many elite points do you have?" "I don't know. I'm not looking anymore." How are you going to hit it if you don't even know where you are? You know what I mean? Like, I just didn't even want to look at it. And so getting a systematic tracking thing was insanely helpful for me for this goal. And so that's why I go to, and again, like, the parallels in this business and your personal journey are incredible because there are trackers for business and their Nutrition Plus, our accountability group, My Fitness Pal, whatever you need to track with the BOD app, BOD groups, whatever it is, like, they are tools to help you maintain focus on reality of what's going on in your life, because the reality is the numbers don't lie, right? If I'm to track my weight or my caloric intake or my invitations sent or my, I don't know, sneak peeks I've done in the year or whatever, and I say with my mouth, "Oh yeah, I invited 50 people today." I'm like, "Oh, can I see their names?" Well, no. Why can't I? Well, I didn't write them down. So how do you know you did 50? Were you keeping count? Do you have like a prison like thing on the wall where you're just keeping count? Like, how do you know? Well, I guess I don't. Well, then you didn't invite 50 people. You put in some effort and you felt like you invited 50 people. But when you look back at it, you're like, oh, dang, that was 12. It felt like 50, but it was 12. 50 and 12 are not the same thing. I think about like if I'm keeping track of my weight in my Beachbody On Demand group, like my bod group, and the tracker will look like this. It'll be like up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, because it just so you know, like, and I think most of you guys know this, your weight will not steadily go down forever. Like you won't start at 100, not that you should lose weight, whatever. We're just going to use 100 as a number. You're not going to start at 100 pounds and your goal is 0 and it's just going to do this the whole way down. Like that's not how your body was designed. You hit a thermostat and you hit a wall and you have to readjust and you have to change things. Like, but if you don't ever track it, as soon as you get on the scale again and it's gone up a little bit, you're like, oh my gosh, like, oh, things are falling apart and this is terrible. And you don't know because you haven't been consistently tracking it. And so those are the two things that have really dramatically shifted this group and this business and my personal journey and my fitness journey, because those are the things that now I'm tracking. And so I kind of wanted to end all of this tonight with something that Cece said. If y'all were on the Zoom call last week, you've already heard this story, but it is something that like I don't think I'll ever forget and has dramatically impacted the way that I talk to my customers, the way that I talk to my coaches, the way that like I approach this business and this team and our boot camp forever. I will never go back after hearing her say this story, because she articulated everything I was feeling but didn't know how to express. And so what she had said was when back in 2000, I think 16 or 15, when she started this business, Moira came to her. Cece has 3 special needs children, right? Her husband works a corporate job. He is extended up to here, constantly thinks he's getting fired from his corporate job. It's a really unstable place to work. She was not doing well. She was in chronic pain, taking pain pills for her back all the time, like drinking wine. Like she just wasn't in a good place. She was in a place that a lot of us either are today or have been, or the people we're talking to are in, right? Their plates are full. You reach out to somebody and you invite them into this business, and not necessarily into the business, but maybe into the business, maybe into the boot camp, whatever it is. You're sharing what you love about this with them. And they talk about, well, I just have so much on my plate. There's just so many things going on. We're getting ready to head into the holidays and my plate is just so full. I have PTA and I have, with CC, 3 special needs kids and all of this heap and heap and heap. And I'm such a visual person. So I literally picture a plate and we're piling on all the things, right? Like the kids' school projects and the Thanksgiving hats that we have to make and like all of the things. And so because that plate is literally wobbling and about to fall off, we start taking things off of it, right? And what's the easiest thing we can take off of it? Ourselves. Like, oh, well, my kids won't be impacted if I take my workout off. I'll have 30 extra minutes in the day to get all this stuff done. Well, the reality is, friend, you're probably not spending those 30 extra minutes on anything that's filling you, right? And anything that's making that plate lighter. But you know that you can take that off. Well, I can take off dinner. I don't have to make dinner. I can run through the McDonald's drive-through. I don't need to worry about that, right? And I can take off this business because, does it really matter if I invite anybody or if I build to Emerald or if I do any of this? It probably doesn't matter. And that's just one more stress, right? So I'll take that off. Guys, the plate doesn't get any lighter. You're not taking things that actually impact the weight of that off. What you're doing is removing your ability to cope and manage the things on the plate well. You're not helping the plate. So one of the things that Cece shared in that story was that this has been the only thing, and this is what like articulated what's been on my soul. This has been the only job. I don't even know why I put air quotes on it. This is the only job. This is the only career. I think I put air quotes because like my other jobs have been jobs, right? This has been the only thing that I have ever done that has lessened the weight of the plate because I am taking care of me. I am strengthening the person holding the plate. And when you strengthen the person holding the plate, you can hold immeasurably more. All of the sudden, the stuff on the plate doesn't seem very heavy at all because you've taken care of the person holding the plate. And so when we reach out and when we invite and when the person says, like, I just have so much going on, I can't imagine doing this. I feel like we always flip into this like explanation mode of, well, this is only 30 minutes of your day. That's really 0.2% of your day. Can you really not spend 2% of your day, or how much ever? And you guys know I suck at math, but like, can you really not spend 2% of your day? You're scrolling Facebook for 30 minutes a day. Why can't you push play? You know, like it takes just as much. And we know that. We know that because we're in it and we know the dramatic impact that amount of time has on our day. But when somebody is on the outside looking in on that, they think, oh, well, it's just another thing. It's just another thing. But you have to realize that it is the thing that makes all of the other things like shed a light. It sheds a light on them. You start realizing, like, if I think about it this way. Um, I think about how fun my fitness journey is when I bring in a new person. Like when I bring in Jamie or I bring in Michelle and they come in, oh gosh, now I'm going to get like all emotional. But when they come into our thing and they post their journey, it makes my journey more fun. It makes me want to show up. I push myself harder in my workouts because they show up. Had I not invited them, had I not posted my journey, had I not shared authentically from my heart, had I not spent an hour on the phone with Michelle telling her about how much I love our team and our business and this boot camp and everything, they wouldn't be here and my journey would feel heavier and my journey would feel harder. So inviting the friend, while I feel like the enemy tells you that's so hard, what it does is it makes your burden lighter because now you're both carrying the plate. You're both able to support one another and it's more fun. It's more enjoyable. You're able to do it with more ease because it's fun. Like I think of again, I go back to the stinking hiking stuff, right? Because that's, I'm trying to get 52 in and I'm not doing well with it. Just so you know, I need to like start counting walking to the mailbox and back as a hike because the 52 is not happening. I'm on 29. And the days are ticking away, guys. But I think about when I hike with Eden and God bless her. I love that girl with all of my heart and soul. She is literally a part of me. Like I grew her inside of my body. She's got my cells and my DNA, but I want to throw her off the side of a mountain cliff when we hike together most of the time. She's a very difficult person to hike with. She's slow, she's laborious. I have to constantly check myself the entire way up the mountain. Like, you are not on this hike for your enjoyment. You are on this hike to show her that nature is beautiful and wonderful. You are not on this hike to get to the summit in a timely fashion. You're here to just enjoy nature through her eyes. But when I go hiking with Stephanie, my friend Stephanie, or when I go hiking with Paige, or when I go hiking with Jackie, and we're talking and we're having fun and we're looking around and we're taking Instagram photos, all of the sudden I'm at the top and I didn't even realize I just hiked 7 miles. I should be exhausted. I should be worn out and tired and falling apart, but I'm not because my friend was there. And so when I think about bringing people into this circle, into our team, into this journey, it's about us enjoying the hike together. It's about making the hike more fun for me because it's more fun for me with a friend, not with people I'm like literally having to drag along a trail. And yes, I have drugged my child up a trail because we're going to finish the dang trail, dang it. But I hope that that serves as like, I know the topic of tonight's thing was like us all getting on the same page for the end of the year, but that is the same page. Like if we can all get on the same page of looking at what it is we need to do, right? Because again, you can't hike without a map. If you don't know where you're going, you can't get there. Um, so get a planner, get a tracker, write it down, get a scrap piece of paper. But if your goal, and set it reasonable, like don't think, okay, well, I mean, I'm not going to limit you. I'm not going to put God in a box for you, but like it's October 29th. It's a slightly bit unrealistic if you're starting from 0 coaches to go from 0 to 12 by the 31st. Again, I'm not going to put God in a box. I'm not telling you what you can and can't do, but that's a tad overreaching, right? But can you help one person? Can you help 3? Can you follow up with the people that you've been inviting with all month? Can you go back to your friend who said no 2 months ago and ask if it's a better time now? Share your heart with them and share how this is making your life better. That's something you can do. So get a plan together. And again, that plan, it can be in the form of a business activity tracker. If you don't know what that is, I can tag you in it in our team page. But it literally lists out in a check mark form, like what to do this business every day. So if you're a list making kind of girl and you need to check it off, that's a really excellent tool to do that. But get really clear on what it is you want to do and then deconstruct it of what you need to do per day, per week, per whatever to get there and take care of business. Again, I think, going into the physical realm of this, if your big, hairy, scary goal is losing 100 pounds, like it's unrealistic to believe you're going to lose 100 pounds between now and October 31st, right? Like, I'd prefer that you not, because that means you probably cut off a limb. But what you can do is lose 1. What you can do is lose 2. If you focus, I think about 2B mindset and how Alana talks a lot about like 2 pounds a week is a reasonable and sustainable amount of weight loss every week. That is not a drastic amount that you're going to binge and rebound on. 2 pounds a week is all it takes. But 2 pounds a week will get you to 100 pounds. Inviting one person will get you to inviting 30 if you do one a day. It may not get you to diamond, but it'll get you moving the needle forward, So get really clear about what the mountain, what the hike you want to do is, get a plan, and then just take it one step at a time. And I really, truly believe, and like I said, you guys, if y'all need to turn on notifications on the team page, then turn on notifications on the team page so that you get the announcements, because we are so freaking close to 5-star. It is outrageous. Like, Renee and I have been messaging all day because she and I are pushing one another. I need to make 2 diamonds in the next essentially like 5 days, and Renee needs to finish hers. And I'm like, okay, what are you doing? How are you getting there? What's going on? How are you getting there? Like, we're back and forth and back. Like, get a buddy in this and get to pushing with them, like get somebody who has similar goals to you and get to pushing with them. It's so much more fun. Okay. So before we wrap up, I do need to screen share one more time because we do have a couple of announcements. 9-week Control Freak launches for coaches. This, I think it's December 5th is what I read. I can go back and look at the exact dates, but get excited about that. We are going to host a team-wide, what are those things called? Test group. I know Nikki Welsh, one of Renee's coaches, is in the test group right now. She's either going to come and speak on a team call in the next couple of weeks, or she's going to be able to, just depending on her schedule, go live in our team page and give you her, kind of assessment of the program and where she's feeling successful in it and how we can use this as a huge launch into the first of the year to help people hit their end of year goals or top of the year goals. November 2nd, Peppermint Mocha comes out, you guys. I'm like, I feel like Buddy the Elf. I'm like, oh my God, it's Peppermint Mocha. Do you guys know? It's Peppermint Mocha? It is my favorite of all time. And I would recommend that you get on it because I will take them all. End of story. And you can just like pry them from my cold dead hands is what you can do. And then November the 7th is Super Weekend. If you don't know what that is, traditionally Beachbody hosts a regional event every quarter. Obviously, because of COVID, they are not sanctioning live events. Yes, who doesn't care about sanctionings? Me. So love you lots. Sorry that you guys aren't in Hawaii, but Jamie, I know you're here in Hawaii. I don't know who else is on the call that might be in Hawaii, but I am hosting Super Weekend. I do think I need to confirm with Jackie. She lives on on a base that it does not have restricted access. Her base is open. It's down near Pearl, Jamie, kind of near where you live. But because there are people on our team that are not military affiliated, I am going to try to probably put it at her house so that everyone has equal opportunity to be able to go. But we're going to get together. We're going to do a live workout. We're going to have some, shakes or some energize or some fun stuff and really make it a fun event. So that is going to be November the 2nd in the morning. Just so you know, I need to get the exact time because it's going to be like a live streaming sort of thing. But Jackie's going to set up a big projector in her front yard. It is going to be outside so that you don't have to feel closed up in a house or whatever. And again, we're going to do a workout. It's going to be a lot of fun, really good time. But if you are not here, let me encourage you, if you feel comfortable. I never want to make people feel uncomfortable with COVID restrictions and all that stuff. But if you feel comfortable having a couple people over at your house and streaming this all together, I know Amanda, you're in Clarksville, and Layla, and you guys have an incredible local team. Feel free to post it in the team page. I'm not telling you to host an event. I technically can't and shouldn't and won't. But if you feel comfortable having people over to your house, it would be a really great time to get together and just fellowship with other people who are health minded and get together and do something fun. I know several of you guys have little small local communities. And so even if it's just you and your best friend or you and your sister, or you can invite challengers to do the free workout, that would be a really, really fun thing to do. So, okay. 4:01. I made it almost in the exact amount of time. I know that was a lot, you guys. But I did want to share those announcements with you. Thank you guys for spending some of your evening or late afternoon with me today. I hope that this call was encouraging. Let me check the chat. If you need to go, I love you. Thank you for being on. 26.2. Yes. Thank you. Anyone oh, that's Renee. I cannot express how hard this hits home. Oh, I love you so much, Michelle. And do you know a start date? I'm trying to gauge weeks and workout programs for test group start. As far as our team goes for doing it, no, I don't. I hesitate to speak a date because what happens when a leader speaks a date is that people write it down. And they're like, okay, we're starting December 15th. Danielle said we're starting December 15th. And then I am like, oh, that's a terrible idea. Why are we doing that then? And then I have to go back and make you mad that you wrote it in pen on your planner. So no, I do not have a hard start date. I can tell you for 100% certainty it is not December the 5th. We will not, especially because this program has some new equipment. I don't want to give you a hard date, but I personally kind of want to start it the 1st of January, that whenever let me look at the calendar and stop talking in abstract. It would be January the 4th would be my preference to start it. It's hard because then I get FOMO when other people start it and I'm like, oh, dang it, we should have started it then. So I need to kind of confer with the powers that be and figure out what exactly we're going to do about that. But my personal preference is not to start it until January. If you're looking at okay, I have this many days to do this program or that program. The other thing, and again, if you have to go, I totally get it. But the other thing I've been kicking around is if you guys have not seen Erin Hopkins' transformation from Ultimate Reset. Ultimate Reset is a 21-day gut health cleanse that Beachbody has in its arsenal of tools. I have done it 3 times in the past 6 years, and I love it. Hardcore love that program. And I got really big FOMO when Erin started doing it because she reached out to me because she knows how much I love it so much. And she and I have been talking about nutrition things and talking about inflammation and gut health and that being a big part of her sleep issues and all of that. And so we were talking and she's like, I think I'm going to do it. I was talking to some other people and I think I'm going to do it. And so watching her Ultimate Reset journey was incredible. She is someone who enjoys alcohol. She is someone who lives off of Energize and is about as high speed as they come, stressed, has 3 little girls, always go, 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 go. I think she's pushing for 15 star this year. She's got a lot on her plate, right? And so Ultimate Reset was never one of the things that she wanted to do. And so when we were talking about it, she was like, I think that I think I want to try it for nothing else other than sleep. Like, I've got to get some sleep. Sleep is one of those things that like helps you deal with all the other things better, especially people that struggle with anxiety and stuff like that. Sleep is really, really powerful for that. And so when she did it, and it really made me want to do it again. And I have been kicking around the idea of doing it, whether I do it with other people on our team or whether I just do it on my own. I don't know. But I love how I feel on the Ultimate Reset. It's challenging. There are days when I forget that I love it. But it is an incredible, incredible program. It's also super simple. It tells you exactly what to eat. I mean, you're not eating probably the same thing as your family, but it really is one of those programs that, like, I don't know, it was just a game changer for me. It really exposed some really yucky habits that I didn't even realize I had. And I really do think I want to do it again. I just have to figure out what the timing, because it is 21 days and I don't want to like do it over Thanksgiving or over Christmas. So just got to figure that out. But if anybody has any like, oh, I want to do that with you, we can chat and see like when that would line up. Because it is a lot of, I won't say it's a lot of fun. I enjoy it, but I know other people might not. Because it is very prescription-y. Like you're on a schedule. So anyways, that was what I was going to end with. So thank you guys. Does anybody have any questions? Like I said, if you have to hop off, I completely understand. I love you and hope that Harry, I know you have a headache, so I hope you feel better, friend. Any questions? Just unmute yourself or type them in the chat. You are, Jamie. Okay, we'll talk about it. It's fun. Again, I don't know why I keep describing it as fun. It is fun, but it's also, Amanda, you've done it before, haven't you?
I have not. I've wanted to, but I knew that I'd have to, 21 days and be focused. I almost did it though.
Yeah.
So I'm interested depending on the dates.
Michelle, I feel like you signed up to do it with me before and you had an allergic reaction to the greens powder maybe. So we might have to talk about that, of doing it again, but without that part of it, because I don't want you to not feel good on it. But yes, it's a really good program. And it does it, like Jen Hines did it last year. Again, I almost did it with her last year. And I was like, no, I don't really like, I didn't have, and I still don't, I don't have any, I would not like that part. Yes. No, I remember that. But what was I going to say? It's not even that I have digestive issues. I'm not like struggling in that area, but I kind of like the ease. I know it sounds crazy, but like, I like the simplicity of it. I like that I don't have to think about what foods to make, and I can just like make exactly what they tell me to make and just eat that. But it is, there are supplements throughout it, and it is a purchased program, just so everyone knows, if you did not know that already. But all right, you guys, go help one more person. You guys have fun with both. I know Amanda Collison, it is okay, girl. You do not have to do it. I feel you. We're gonna figure it out.
I have to know, Amanda, what is your deal with Autumn? How can you not like Autumn?
She don't like her.
Okay. She talks too much, and she like has this banter that she thinks is funny, which I find is super annoying. Just shut up, do the thing. And also I feel like her stuff is all over the place. Like, no, just shut up. Tell me what I need to do. Enough with this, like, oh, I'm so funny. Let me jump around with my cats just so they laugh at me. No, stop it. Just, And that's why Amwala, I adore him, because that man is no nonsense. Like, let's do this shit and be done with it.
Yes.
Like, I'm not. Well,
Amanda.
I'm sure Autumn's programs are great, but I'm not about that.
Yeah, I mean, she's an incredible trainer, but you know how I feel too. But you know what, Amanda, I saw you did, my watch told me you did an elliptical workout today. Did you?
I did. I know. It was just that was just 45 minutes on the elliptical, but I
I'm
am gonna
curious
do.
to know what you're going to think about a Dallas, because I was thinking about it. I was talking to Jen Hines about it because she's like, she's too fast. And and I was like, you know what it is though? She's not too fast. She doesn't talk. There's no banter.
Not nonsense.
There's
Yeah.
no nonsense. She literally
I'm about
pick up
that.
the weight, do this. Okay.
Yep.
5, 4,
Yep.
3, 2. I think you'll like her a lot. I really do.
Sounds about right.
So
We'll find out on Monday. We'll find
Mhm.
out on Monday.
So the one thing that really kind of bothered me, which is so minute, during the test group for the 30-day breakaway, was when you would do the run, she would go, recover,
Oh, yeah.
5. I'm like, if you say recover, it means recover now. Like, we're not doing a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1
We're not doing a
countdown. You said
countdown, like-
recover. If somebody is saying recover, that means we get to jog, we get to walk. We don't have to keep going. So even like after all those runs, when I knew she was going to count down, and I would still catch myself like stopping, and I would be like, why do you do that? Why do you do that?
It's like I think about it as like a dog whistle, right? Like that's your dog whistle sound. It's like that sound means stop. And not stop in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, but stop right now.
If somebody says we're going to recover, that means we are recovering. Like
Now I'm done now.
this moment. So
All
it
right,
did.
that's
I
funny.
remember we were on one of the runs, my husband's sitting here, and I was literally like, why does she do that? Just count down then. 5, 4, 3, 1, recover. Okay, great. Now we can recover. Like, why? It just, I don't know why. It was like nails on a chalkboard to me. I was like, stop doing that, Adele.
Yes. We all have our like idiosyncrasies with all the things, but I keep her on mute.
I like that.
Tune her out the same way I tune out my boys. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I am the same way. And it's so funny because I remember when I first started all of Beachbody workouts, and like, you know, especially like back in the day, like don't forget all y'all that came into this. Let me get real, like real up in here. Bust out my south side of Virginia, Danielle. Let me get real up in here with you. When I started this, there were DVDs, and 21 Day Fix was literally 7 workouts you did 3 weeks in a row. So all of y'all that have no experience with that part of this business, like the fact that you can do morning meltdown and you literally, bye Layla, love you. You literally can do it 100 workouts that never repeat the same workout, and she doesn't wear the same clothes and she doesn't have the same banter. Like, I had to listen to Shaun T over and over and over and say the same things. And I'm like, now I don't have to do that. So I'm always grateful that the workouts change now every day. I love that style that they've done. Makes my heart so happy. So. All right. Oh my gosh. I will post about this in the team page, but I cannot believe I didn't start the call with this. Y'all, time change. Me too, Jamie. He is my favorite. The time change happens on Sunday. Hawaii does not have a time change. So this call will change times. I love you guys, but I literally cannot move the call because of my kids' school pickup schedule. And so it will fall back to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central, and then the rest of the country just has to figure out their own thing because I don't know their time zones. Jamie and those of you who are here in Hawaii, it will stay at 3 p.m. for us. So just so you know, I hate that I can't accommodate everybody's schedules. Like it just stinks. But it's only one night a week. And, you know, like I say, if you have to watch the replay or if you have to hop off early or come a little late, that's fine. Just, you know, let me know. So, and by next Thursday, I think we're going to have a super big announcement on next Thursday. Kind of feels like a baby's coming and I'm freaking out about it. Let's just do everything you want to do. You know what? Only you are allowed to say that to me. That's fine. That's fine. Michelle is at work or on the way home from work. One of the two. Love you. All right, ladies, go help people. I love y'all.
Good night.
Good night.